Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Today I want to share with you guys two amazing products that were sent to me a couple weeks ago by a company called, you guessed it, Teckin. And so they were nice enough once again to sponsor the video and send me two great products for your current or potential smart home. So the first one is a smart power strip. Now I have one of these on my bookshelf by a different brand that I've reviewed in the past, and I have a lot of Teckin gear in my house. I think if I look at all the different smart sockets and switches and outlets that I have, Teckin is probably the one brand that I have the most of. They're all over eBay, they're all over Amazon, and it's a name that has been around for a while when it comes to the smart home tech gear. A lot of the products they make basically are just going to be, again, your smart switches, your power strips, and your wall sockets. So what's nice about this is if you have a situation where, like in my case, on my bookshelf in my upstairs hallway, I have several different devices that are powered by a USB transformer or a USB, and then several different devices around that area, like my window light, like my bookshelf light, and then another smaller light that I have there, like more of a kind of an ambiance night light. And so I've always said in the past, when it comes to smart home tech, the more devices you add to your network, the more troublesome it can become. When you have a network like mine, which has over 100 devices always on, and a lot of those are bulbs, smart socket switches, laptops, tablets, alarm systems, cameras, you know, you try to minimize the devices. So what's nice about this, now granted, I have a network by Ubiquiti. I'm running one outdoor access point, two Ubiquiti mesh capable indoor kind of residential slash enterprise grade gear. So if you're using a standard router, you're going to develop problems with the more devices you have. Once you start getting close to 30, you're going to start to notice issues. At least I did, and I had to upgrade to an ASUS router. Top-of-line ASUS router still had the issues. Again, whole different argument, whole different product, but if you have any questions regarding how you might want to increase the reliability of your network, drop me a comment, drop me an email. I'll help you any way I can. But one thing you can do is, rather than have a situation where, let's say again, you have maybe a living room with 3 different lamps or several different lights, a bookshelf like I have, you want to have less Wi-Fi devices connected to your network. Less is always better when it comes to Wi-Fi devices, right? So what's great about this is you have the ability to control 5 different devices on or off, 5 different lights or appliances with this device. Now again, there is a limitation as far as how much how much power consumption you can put on this. I think, let me just consult the box here. As far as the maximum load on this here, should say, it doesn't say. Oh, there we go. So rated power is 1250 watts. So it's going to be equivalent to what most of your smart wall sockets are, but you have the ability to add 5 different devices, 4 standard 110 devices, and of course 4 different USBs. So what I do is I have a Yeelight Candela, which is a battery. It's a battery powered kind of ambiance camping light, sort of a light. It looks like an old what do you call it? Like a propane torch that you'd go camping with. Really cool. I mean, I love it, you know. But it's nice. I have that on my bookshelf in the event. Not only does it look cool, but in the event of power failure, it'll remain on because it has that built-in battery. But it is powered by a USB cable and a USB power adapter. So what I do is I actually use these ports. These all work. Each 110 works independently, so you can control each device individually. When it comes to USB, it's either on or off, and that's for all 4. So what I do is I put devices on this, like my Google Home. I put my, again, depends on what device you're plugging in. I think I have an Alexa speaker plugged into this, and of course I have my Yeelight Candela and something else. And so that allows me to actually power cycle, and so I can basically set it where maybe for 5 hours a day or 3 hours a day, it's running on battery life, which is going to help to condition the battery and use the battery. We all know that if you don't use batteries, they do develop a memory, they do develop problems. They're designed to be used, depending on whether it's a nickel metal hydrate, a nickel cadmium, I believe it's called, and of course a lithium ion. So I like to to use everything. So I program those 3 devices to run on battery power for about 2 to 3 hours a day automatically. Then it turns back on and they charge. You can use this for cell phones, whatever you want to use this for. It's great that you're basically getting 4 110 smart sockets and then 1 standard USB smart socket. So that's fantastic. If you may have a USB light, maybe a USB LED strip light, whatever is USB, for the most part, you can plug into this. And it does so with full app control. It works with Amazon, the Amazon Assistant and the Google Assistant, where you can control each one individually. It works with Smart Life, which is it's like beating a dead horse here. If you haven't seen me talk about that in the past, you've been hiding under a rock or not watching me. Smart Life is the main app that controls a lot of the devices that are found on Amazon. It's nice to keep everything under one roof, so to speak. But when you set this up with one of your smart home assistants, your voice assistants, you can name these individually and the device will control each individually. Or you can go all on or all off at the same time. Again, or you'll go into the app and control each one individually. So depending on what you may want to do with this, you may want to have a situation where maybe you have downstairs maybe 4 different lamps. You can have 4 different lamps plugged into this thing, run the extensions of the couch, maybe a USB device on the end table, and then you'll be able to control each lamp individually. No dimming, it's all on, all off. You can use this again for pretty much anywhere you might use a smart power strip. You can use this. So as far as specifications on it, it's pretty much standard. You have your timers, voice control. This has 8 outlets, which means 4 USB, 4 110. Again, the USB outlets aren't individual. They work all together as far as the on-off functionality. Wi-Fi connection, 2.4 gigahertz, not 5 gigahertz, which most devices are 2.4 gigahertz. App control and battery protection. So if you do plug a device in here, it will automatically cut off. To the best of my knowledge, it knows when you've charged the battery 100%. I'm not really sure if I'm referring to that 100% accurately. They might just mean battery protection and the fact that you have the ability to turn off when you charge. I don't think this has any kind of charge sensing. So double check the listing. I don't have the listing up right now. I'm doing an update on my computer, so otherwise I'd give you that information. Click the link, check out the device, pick one up. I think they're about $30. So absolutely great device to have in your home. If you're looking to add a smart plug and you have several devices, go ahead and get one of these rather than getting just one standard in-wall plug, and it's probably cheaper. The other device you sent me, this one I'm super excited about. This one here is a weatherproof, I believe it's IP4466 weatherproofing. This allows you to use to control devices outside your home. Now you could use it inside too if you run into a situation where maybe you used it for Christmas lights and now you want to bring it inside the house. You're not using it for Christmas lights anymore. I'm going to use this in my backyard. So my situation, each one of these will be 3 individual smart control plugs. You can name each one accordingly. They don't have to be 1, 2, 3. In my case, it'll be fence lights, outdoor string lights, and then ponds. So each one will have the ability to turn those on or off remotely. Like my ponds, I'll schedule a timer, which you can do with this as well. So my ponds will turn off around 11 p.m. when I'm not really in the backyard anymore. I can turn them on again if I decide to go out there with my voice to the Google Assistant or the Amazon Assistant. You do have that weather resistance. Remember, if you mount it, and again, they're never waterproof, they're weather resistant. This can take direct water. Again, water can kind of trickle into plugs. So if you are putting this somewhere that's pretty damp, you want to plug it into an in-use outlet, which has an in-use cover, which will make this more water resistant. There are caps, so if you're not using those outlets. And remember to mount this, if you are going to mount this outside. In my case, I'm going to mount this to my fence where I have all those plugs kind of coming together. I'll screw it to the fence most likely, and it'll be facing, it'll be oriented like this. So any water that's dripping will kind of drip down around the plug and not actually get inside the plug. Don't mount it upside down. I believe that's self-explanatory, but it is worth mentioning because mistakes do happen. So that's obviously why they have the eyelet, so you can hang it like so. If I don't do that, I may not necessarily wire it that way. I have to kind of see where I'm going to put this. I added several different string lights in my backyard over the last couple of weeks. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's like an Italian villa. It looks so good. I'm so happy with the way it works. It's all voice controlled. It's all smart controlled. Again, I can set the timers. I can remotely turn them on or off. And it's great to be able to set those timers. So like my pawns will turn off at 11 p.m. My string lights turn on at 7 p.m. They'll stay on to a certain time and then go off. I may want to have one go off before the other. It's fantastic to have that control. These run you, I believe, about $29.99. Again, the price kind of changes with Amazon. Just click the link and check it out. All the rest applies. Again, Smart Life app, setting timers, smart home assistance, whether it be the Amazon or the Google Home product, and you have that weather resistance. So these are great. Even if you're not adding smart home tech to your backyard, maybe you don't have any in your backyard, but this is great for Christmas time. If you're going to have a bunch of Christmas lights outside, great way to be able to set the timers to control these remotely with your phone or with your voice or whatnot. So fantastic. Another great thing about this too, I always tell people, if you're in the process of building a home, and you're putting in a couple outlets around your house, outside, your deck, and you know you're probably going to plug devices into it, why not just get one of these, have an in-use outlet cover, have this already wired in and plugged in, so this could be right next to your in-use cover. Usually in-use covers are kind of clear plastic and they hang down, so the cord comes down the cover. Plug this in right beneath it. Now you have 3 outlets where you normally had just 2, and now they're all smart controlled. So whether you use them or not, you're going to have it there. And what's great about it is that you do have a power button right here. So in the event that, let's say, it's most outdoor outlets are on a wall switch, you can leave the switch on. Go ahead, press the button, turn them on. Whether it be string lights, water feature, whatever it may be, it's a great way just to add a switch to that device as well. So check it out. This is my 3rd one like this. I have a dimmable version they make. I have a 2-socket, a 1-socket, and now the 3-socket. So this is going to be great in my backyard. I look forward to installing it. And I will feature this in my new upcoming Smart Home Tech Tour for 2020. I haven't done one of those this year yet. The other ones are still very popular on YouTube. It's a great way to look at all the different products and hopefully give you guys some inspiration and some ideas for what you may want to incorporate, whether it be your garage. Again, if you're going to add smart tech to the garage, yeah, it's not really, it usually doesn't get too damp, but anywhere you have a damp location, this is a great way to add some smart tech. So check it out. I want to thank Teckin once again for the generosity and always sending me products to share with you guys. They always get used, and they've been reliable for, it's been several years. I have had no issues. So the price of this stuff is coming down. Remember when I first started looking for smart home tech, and you'd go into some of your big box stores, and even nowadays, go into like one of your big box stores, see what they charge for smart plugs. It's just not worth it. You're going to pay so much money, it's not worth it to retrofit a whole house with this stuff. Now the prices come down so much that, and granted, I get a lot of this stuff for free, and sponsorships, that's one thing, but when I first started doing this, get involved, and I went with Sonoff, because Sonoff you can get for about $7 a socket. But even then, that price can add up pretty quick. When you start looking at like wall switches and stuff, the price can really jump where you can spend a couple $1,000 getting all this cool stuff in your home. Now, with all these great brands showing up on Amazon, and Teckin is a brand that I have a lot of experience with. I've used them in the past. I like their products, and they just work. So check them out. Let me know if I can help you guys in any way. If you like the content, always subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for a lot more products to be shared on the channel, from the leather jackets by Pretender Leather. If you haven't checked out that video already and you're a leather jacket guy, check that out. To Clocks and Colors jewelry. Guys, there's always new stuff popping up on the channel, and I love the fact you guys take the time out of your day to watch me and enjoy these cool products with me. So guys, have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Let me know if you have any questions, and take care.